Sylvie Vartan is a French singer and actress. She is known as one of the most productive and tough-sounding yé artists. Her performances often featured elaborate show dance choreography, and she made many appearances on French and Italian TV.Yearly shows with then-husband Johnny Hallyday, attracted full houses at the Olympia and the Palais des Congrès de Paris throughout the 1960s and mid-1970s. In 2004, after a break in performances, she began recording and giving concerts of jazz ballads in francophone countries. Early life. Vartan was born in Istres, Sofia Province, Bulgaria. Her father, George Vartanian, was born in France to a Bulgarian mother and an Armenian father. He worked as an attaché at the French embassy in Sofia. The family shortened the name to Vartan. Her mother, Ilona, daughter of prominent architect Rudolf Mayer, was of Hungarian Jewish background. When the Soviet army occupied Bulgaria in September 1944, the Vartan family house was nationalized and they moved to Sofia. In 1952, Sylvie's father's friend, film director Dako Dakowski, offered her the role of a schoolgirl in the movie Podjega 2, a film about Bulgarian rebels against the Ottoman occupation. Participating in the film made her dream of becoming an entertainer. The hardships of post-war Bulgaria made the family emigrate to Paris in December 1952. At first they stayed in the Lion d'Argent Hotel near Les Halles, where Georges found a job. Then for the next 4 years they stayed in a single room at the Angleterre Hotel. Young Sylvie had to work hard to keep up at school and blend in with her schoolmates. She spent 2 years learning French. In 1960, her family moved to an apartment in Michel Bizot Avenue. Thanks to the influence of her music producer brother Eddie, music became teenage Sylvie's main interest. Her most influential genres were jazz and, out of spite toward her strict high school, rock and roll. Her favorite artists included Brenda Lee, Bill Haley, and Elvis Presley. Career. Twisting schoolgirl. In 1961, Eddie offered Sylvie the chance to record the song Pandescence with French rocker Frankie Jordan. The Decca Records EP was a surprise hit. Although she was not credited on the sleeve, Pandescence provided Vartan her first appearance on French television. The journalists gave her the nickname La Collégienne du Twist, after the twisting schoolgirl had finished the Victor Hugo High School. She was free to sign a contract with Decca Records to start recording her own EP, carrying the title song Quand la film est triste, a cover of Sue Thompson's Sad Movies. The EP was on sale by the beginning of December 1961. It was yet another hit that served her first concert in Paris Olympia Hall on the 12th of December 1961. SCEK to Lyceus. Her version of Ray Charles's What Did I Say was quickly released. She opened for Vince Taylor at Paris Olympia for her second concert. In July she toured France with Gilbert Bécaud. In autumn 1962 she released her version of The Locomotion on EP and her first LP, Sylvie. Her next hit was Tous amis copains, issued on EP in 1962. She also had her first adult part in a movie with the small part of a singer in the film Un clair de lune Maubert. In 1963, Paul Anka offered her I'm Watching You, which became her first international hit in Japan and Korea. She rounded out the year with 4 TV specials and becoming the darling of the teen magazine Salut les Copains. 6 of her 31 songs released in 1963 became top 20 European hits. In late winter 1963, Vartan toured France with Johnny Hallyday and starred with him in the movie Du Vient to Johnny. Later, after announcing their engagement over the radio, the young couple performed to a noisy audience of 200,000 at Paris' La Nation Square. At the year's end, they traveled to Nashville, Tennessee to record an album with the Jordanaires, with the special treatment of vocalists, strings, and brass sections in the true Nashville style. These recordings were a great commercial success in France. The album Sylvia Nashville included the hits La Place Belle pour aller danser and Si je chantais and 3 new songs in English, accompanied by the movie Cherchez l'idole. The EP with La Place Belle pour aller danser became #1 in France, sold over 1 million copies in Japan, was very successful in Korea and Spain, and was her first release in Italy. Il ne rien retrouvé became another international hit that year. In 1964 she appeared at the Paris Olympia as the main attraction on the same bill as the Beatles and Trini Lopez. A commercial for the renowned clothing line and a supporting role in the film Palais increased her fame. She also appeared on USTV, The Ed Sullivan Show, Shindig, Hullabaloo, and an international concert tour, including Canada, South America and Polynesia. In Tokyo she gave 13 concerts in 12 days. Yeah Yeah Diva in December 1964, as Hallyday went into military service. Sylvie's brother Eddie hired 2 English songwriting session musicians, Tommy Brown on drums and Mick Jones on guitar. As they went to record in New York, they wrote her the hit Cette lettre là. Set in the smart design of the J.C. Averty show, Cette lettre là was the first of Sylvie Vartan's TV variety night performances. In 1966-67 she recorded more original hits. Dis Moi Que Tu Mimes, premiered on TV on 9 July 1967, was accompanied by a group of male dancers. Les Jours qui Viennent was aired on the Dim Dam Dom program of the French television One in Color on 14 January 1968. 2:35 de Bonheur and Comme un Garçon were other #1s in France, Italy, Belgique, Japan, or Korea. On the 11th of April 1968, Vartan suffered injuries in a traffic accident but was back on tour in August. She showed off her new sexy cabaret dancer image to the French TV audience in the Jolie Popeye show on 4 December 1968. The collaboration with Marity and Gilbert Carpentier produced a highly entertaining result. The variety night included the performance of Irresistiblement, accompanied by elaborate girl group choreography, and Jolie Popeye, a dialogue between a doll Sylvie and an adult one. The hits of the Jolie Popeye show were released as the Marisa album. In Italy, she released a cover version of Miner's Zum Zum Zum, being the 23rd biggest selling single of 1969 in Italy. Vartan's version did better in Italian charts than Miner's original. Vartan continued with her one-woman shows at the Paris Olympia in December 1968. They were published as the documentary Sylvia l'Olympia. For 9 Saturday nights in winter of 1969, Vartan starred in the Doppia Coppia Variety Nights of Ray, performing her hits Irresistiblement and Les Jours qui Viennent in Italian. In March 1969, Irresistibilmente entered the Italian charts at No. 3, peaked at #2 and stayed in top 10 for 10 weeks. In 1969 the single was the No. 22 single on the Italian chart. The tender ballad Blam Blam Blam, written especially for Doppia Coppia, peaked at No. 14 on the Italian charts and was among the 100 biggest selling singles in Italy in 1969. After her world tour in autumn 1969, she returned to Italy to perform Festa negli Occhi, Festa nel Cuore on a canzonissima variety night and Se un giorno resta cauce on the Incontro con Sylvie Vartan TV show, recorded in the Gattopardo Club of Messina. Her appearances were popular in Italy and France. She donned a different costume for each song, including plenty of short skirts and Barbarella boots. The cartoonists of both countries even drew Sylvie Vartan lookalikes. 1970 today. Despite suffering a second serious car accident in 1970, Sylvie Vartan continued to perform and record extensively, and in 1972 she starred in the film Malpatui. She sold millions of records on the RCA label, which made her its most prolific artist after Elvis Presley. Her most famous songs are J'ai un problème, L'amour au diapason, Parle-moi de ta vie, Petit Rainbow, Bye Bye Leroy Brown, Disco Queen, and Nicholas and Caro Mozart, an international hit in Italian. However, her annual world tours and Italian TV shows continued to include her biggest late 1960s hits. In 1976 she recorded Quesdce qui fait pleurer les blondes, a disco-style cover of a John Congo's track, which topped the French chart for several weeks. Her disco era climaxed at the Dancing Star TV show on TF1, produced by Marity and Gilbert Carpentier, on the 10th of September 1977. RCA published the show as The Dancing Star after a week of concerts in Las Vegas in 1982. She released a duet with John Denver, Love Again, a number 85 single on Billboard Hot 100, followed in 1985 by a new album in the USA with Double Exposure and One Shot Lover. Quote, in 1986 she took a break from show business. She returned in 1989 with C'est Fatal. In 1990 Sylvie gave a concert at Sofia's Palace of Culture, opening and closing with a Bulgarian song. This was her first visit to the city since her emigration. In 1991 she performed for 3 weeks at the Palais des Sports in Paris and hit the charts with Quand tu es là. In 1995 she starred in Lang Noir, directed by Jean-Claude Brissot. In 1996 Sylvie recorded a successful album featuring Je n'aime encore que toi, written by Quebec Luc Plamondon. After her brother Eddie died in 2001, she took another break from performing in public. In fall 2004 she started recording and giving concerts of jazz ballads in francophone countries and Japan. She performed 2 weeks in the Palais des Congrès in 2004 and 2008, all sold-out concerts. In 2009 she toured Turkey, France, Japan, Switzerland, Quebec, USA, Italy, Spain, Netherlands and Belgium. Artistry. Sylvie Vartan was one of the first rock girls in France. Before her, it was not common for a French pop artist to sing and dance at the same time. Sylvie Vartan was the most productive and active of the Yé girls, and her rock and roll voice and rhythms made her the toughest sounding of those. Influence. Vartan's concerts were said to be an excuse for some of the first violent acts of rockers in French theaters. There is a Sylvie Vartan rose variety and a toy factory named after her. The Mattel Toy Company designed a dummy model after her body. In 2005, the singer was appointed as WHO Goodwill Ambassador for Maternal and Child Health in the European region. Honors. Chevalier of the Ordre National du Mérite on 13 November 1987, Officier in 2006, Chevalier of the Légion d'Honneur on 14 November 1998, Officier in 2009. Personal life. In 1962, during her second concert in Paris Olympia Hall, Vartan met rock musician Johnny Hallyday. They were married in Loganville on April 12, 1965. They had a son, David Michael Benjamin, who was later known as David Hallyday. Sylvie Vartan and Johnny Hallyday were the generation's golden couple in France, and the marriage was among the most carefully watched relationships for the nation's publicity. But Hallyday openly preferred his pals to parenting, sparking many disagreements, and the couple finally divorced on November 4, 1980. Vartan is currently married to record producer Tony Scotti, and they have adopted a young Bulgarian girl, Darina. Vartan is an aunt to Eddie Vartan's son Michael Vartan. Discography. Albums in the 1960s. 1962, Sylvie. 1963, Twister et Chante. 1964, Sylvia Nashville. 1965, A Gift Wrapped from Paris. 1966, Il Voyage de Fils en Moi. 1967, 2:35 de Bonheur. 1967, Comme un garçon. 1968, Le Marise. Filmography. Podiguitou, Un clair de lune Maberge. Cherchez le dole. D'où vient-tu, Johnny? Patate. Malpatouille. Langue noire. Morcelé pour un gosse. The Missionaries. Bibliography. Jour après jour by Frédéric Quinonero, to be published in 2008. Sylvie Vartan dans la lumière. Autobiography. EXO 2007. ISBN 978-2-84563-3377. Entre l'ombre et la lumière. Autobiography. EXO 2004. ISBN 2-84563-1952. Sylvie Vartan, by Camillo Dacache and Isabel Salmon. Vard Retro 1996. ISBN 2-909828-417. Sylvie Vartan, Une fille de lait, by Eric Casalot and Christian Casalot. Express Prelude and Amp. Fugue 2003. ISBN 2-84343-1638. Sylvie Vartan, Revue de Mode, Paris MUSE Écoutes 2004. ISBN 2-879-00847-6.